Hi, and welcome back to the Foreground Podcast. My name is Ray Moaga. I am with my amazing, awesome, epic friend, colleague, MC.
Host.
Host. Okay, we'll got that. Peter Lee.
Yo, what's up?
Welcome back.
Did you miss me?
I did miss you. I missed you in episode 7. We're now episode 8.
Yep.
But it was good. A lot of good chats and I think a lot of good learnings. But I'm enjoying that space. I'm enjoying this space, which is Lumbr Café. See the segue? Spine Street, Sumner. Come down for all your beverage hospitality needs. We are in the boardroom, the business room. So if you have not visited Lumbr Café, you have to. I had a friend of mine come earlier this morning. Hey, oh, nice. Do that again. If you're listening to it, you got to watch the video what Peter's trying to do. But anyway, shout out to Lumbr Cafe again. I'm providing amazing facilities for us to do what we do, and also shout out to Alani Networks Media, who've been so gracious and supportive of the vision we have here at Foreground Podcast. They record everything, film everything, make us look squeaky clean, and we just
always
rock up and just be here.
You'd be surprised. I was actually wearing my white jumper and I spilled my.
Yeah. Then you got told off by the producer.
Yeah, hard.
I had to take it off. Now he's wearing a t-shirt.
I'm very humbled. Hey, we got a really special guest today.
We do.
Someone close to your heart and close to your friendship group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really excited.
Yeah, and get close to my. Wow.
Close to your heart.
I feel like the music should come on.
Yeah, we were actually doing karaoke before this.
We were doing karaoke. We sang "Boys to Men," "End of the Road."
Yeah. Classic.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire. Yeah.
Because here at the cafe, there's a glass wall, and people could see down. They were just cracking up. I don't know. I'm glad they can't hear us because if they did, it would probably run as far from this place as possible.
Yo.
But that's all right. If you want to join us the next time we're in, come on in. Join us for karaoke. Bit of a dance, bit of a groove.
Yeah, you've seen some extra highlights.
Speaking of, Speaking of groove, the groove that I want to get in today is about the podcast, about our guests, which we'll get to very shortly. But at the Foreground Podcast, there's the 4 C's that we land on, which we weave our conversation with our guests, which is, let's go, Peter. Number 1, first C. Community. Second.
Culture. Connection.
And
corporate.
Yo. There you go. Nice. We've done it well. And so
a lot of practice.
A lot of practice. Thank you for the feedback for our listeners and viewers. We've got lots of feedback. Some have been talking to the microphone. That's good feedback.
Yeah. Oh, some
have been put your hand away from your face. That's been good feedback. You're watching this video, you understand.
Yeah.
And then other feedback is like they really enjoy the chats, they really enjoy the content, and they really enjoy the guests.
And also the education piece as well. I think the more we've gone into this, the more models, the more frameworks, behind it, the ethos and philosophies that all the guests actually come on. So it's actually something new that I learn every time we actually do the podcast.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
Good.
And the thing is that I would say pride myself on, or we pride ourselves on, this is not a polished podcast. People have said, you need to sound more like this podcast. Yeah, I'm like, we're not then. We're not about being polished. It's all about progress. Oh, see that?
Boom. And I have no idea what I was going to say then, but yeah.
It's good. Speaking
of polished.
Speaking of someone who's polished though. This guy's a humble dude. Our guest today is, I would say, a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, someone that I respect and admire. He's been in the game. There are many games this guy's in, but in terms of the industry of chaplaincy, in the industry of like project management on a national, local level as well. And he's a family man. He's a person of faith. Like this guy, he does it all. And I'm just so excited to learn a lot from the leadership capacity, learning from how to work in teams.
Yep.
And when you're in,
it's a pretty pressure, big team off air. Yeah.
Yeah. Off air. Like we learn a bit about that. Unpack a bit about the role that he plays and the multiple hats that he wears. But most importantly, he's just a humble dude who just loves to serve. So I want to welcome to the podcast, Godbold. Let's go.
Hey.
Yeah, let's go. Yo.
What a introduction.
Very generous. Very generous. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I was humble before, but now my head's getting a bit big. So I need to widen that door walking out of here. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Excited to see what you guys are doing.
Yeah. No, thank you. Speaking of generous, how are you so generous? Like, where have you learnt that? Because we're going to unpack a bit about what you do and whatnot.
Get to know you as well.
I get to know you, but I know you as a very generous person. Like, where does that come from for you?
Yeah, cool. I think for me, growing up, anytime you heard the word generous, it always was tied to financial. So like, if you be generous, you got to shout someone dinner, you got to drop them money, you got to pay them money. But as you sort of get out of school and you start growing up, I felt that you could do generous other ways.
Yep.
And I think for me, that sort of come from my time. So everyone's got really limited time. So what seemed like financial the only way to be generous, actually time was a huge win because you only got a limited amount of time. And so for me, it was like, hey, what can I be available to someone and how can I give them that? And then from there, it sort of just flowed on. And into financial, into time, into your talent. Hey, you're talented at that. Why don't you give some of that to someone else? And so for me, that's probably more of a formula of understanding what generosity meant, which allowed me and modeled from other people. Like you go to some people and you never have to lift a finger, or never pull your wallet out of your pants before they start paying for you and stuff like that. And so being modeled by other examples definitely strived.
Yeah.
In my end.
Who were some of those models for you who are generous to you and has impacted the way that you are giving and generous of your time and just your friendship?
Yeah. Yeah, I think ultimately like parents. So having parents that are generous. Yeah, when you're young, you don't realise the generosity of parents, the time to drive you in the minivan down to the sports field, the time that they sacrifice buying something for themselves to pay for a fee or a school fees or a sports fees or something like that. Or I remember one time as a kid, I wanted to go on a bike ride with a bunch of mates and I didn't have a bike. And tell mum and dad, and I was like, mum's like, all right, let's get you a bike. I'm like, okay, let's go. And so I think modeling from parents first and foremost, and then starting getting people around through faith communities, through work. In my organisation with Red Frogs, our founder, Boss Frog Andy Goulet, is one of the most generous people I know. He's the first to offer his time, services, shout a meal, and stuff like that. A lot of people know that way to most people's heart is a bit of food. And so
100% culture is food.
Yeah, 100%. And I think model those just naturally around you and just flowing on from there.
Yeah. So tell us about your roles. Like people that have asked us, and some of the feedback I get is like, Ray, just ask straight off the bat, who are they and what do they do? So this is the
what hats you wear.
Listeners and viewers, I'm doing this for you because you've harassed me enough. So I'm going to ask, what is it that you do, and tell us the roles that you operate right now.
Yeah, awesome. For me, first and foremost, I'm a dad, husband.
Yes.
So two beautiful daughters and a beautiful wife, married over 16 years. And I think first and foremost, I'm a family man.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I work for an awesome organisation called Red Frogs Australia.
Oof, yeah.
And in that, I sit in a role that allows me to support our volunteers, to set our volunteers up for a win through major events, through schoolies, festivals, sports, concerts. And then I also look after a lot of our chaplaincy as well, and so sports chaplaincy. One part of Red Frogs is we actually offer that service to professional sporting teams, local athletes, up-and-coming athletes, elite athletes. Yeah. And so my world sits looking after our team around the country and really making them look good. So it's not so much about me, but it's how can I make everyone else look good in equipping them and servicing and supporting them in kicking their goals. So
man, that's impressive. One of the things that impresses me the most, like, and I love you for this because you're so humble in that. Like, you manage a massive team. Like, how big is the volunteer team? Like, I know there's the staff that work for Red Frogs, the national body, but when you're talking volunteers and for our listeners and viewers, they're thinking, okay, what's the number we're talking about? What are the kinds of events of volunteers that you're managing?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, we currently have anywhere upwards of 2,500 to 3,500 volunteers around the country out working a Red Frog program, whether it be in local high schools, university residential properties, sporting fields, sporting stadiums, concert venues, the list goes on. And that's all fueled by a very small staff number. Yep. And so it keeps us on our toes for sure, keeps us busy. Yeah. But it's hard not to be passionate about when you've got so many people willing to give up their time, their talent, and ready to serve other people and look after young people's lives. And so, for example, the cricket coming up, we're looking after the Ashes with Cricket Australia. So we've been partnering with them for over 12 years now. And so we'll have anywhere from 20 to 30 volunteers rolling around the Gabba, the MCG, the SCG, Adelaide Oval, Perth Stadium. And so we get to go as a guest in some of these world-class venues and to look after and safeguard the young people and the fans of the sports around the country. So it's a real privilege.
All right.
The magnitude
of
responsibility. I was like, all I hear was like, damn, responsibility.
All I heard was the Spider-Man quote: "With great power comes great responsibility."
Yeah.
How do you, like, in a normal organization? I don't even want to say normal because there's no such thing as that. But in an organization, people are paid.
Yep.
But you're talking about volunteers. Like, what's the messaging that you're trying to communicate to volunteers? How do you get them motivated, excited? I guess they're already motivated going, I get to go to cricket, I get to go to a sport.
I think it'll be awesome because, like, for myself as well, because I'm trying to motivate a team and we pay for our team. But you come in, like, you're bringing talents, you're bringing people that actually want to do it, and how you keep them motivated.
Represent your brand.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. For us, it's about it's really just activating passionate people. So we're not trying to give them special formulas or any bribery or compensation. It's really just finding people who are passionate and then providing a pathway for them to serve in that passion. For me, passion is like what gets you up in the morning. So like if you're not passionate about something, you're staying in bed too long, you're going to bed early. But if you're passionate about a young person's life, you'll find an opportunity to go and serve a residential property each week, playing cards, eating pizza, spending time with someone, getting to know them.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about sport or music, you'll be more willing to go to a concert and go, hey, you know what, I'm going to give out 1,000 cups of water today because I know these guys want to have a great time and a great experience. And I think it's more about finding people who are passionate and then allowing and creating spaces for that. When Red Frog started, we were just schoolies week. So it was just high school students. And through there was passions around skateboarding, passions around sports, passion around music. Yeah. And so developing programs and then allowing people passionate to be able to go and serve in there. So it's more about creating opportunities for others to reach their communities and serve their communities.
Yeah, that's something that you resonate. I'm looking at you going, that's something that you're passionate about, is creating opportunities. Like, what's that like for you to hear what he's saying? Because I think it's super important that in a position of privilege that we have at our stage of life and the positions that we hold, like, it's about creating opportunities. It's learning. How do you find that balance between going, hey, I wanted to no longer be on the front line. I think I can create an opportunity for someone else to step into. Is that something that you kind of resonate with?
I do. I think I'm actually listening, I'm processing everything. I'm like, damn. It's like, cause the magnitude, right? I know you said like you started in schoolies and that's all you started with. It means you've been with Red Frogs for a long time. So you've sort of seen like the growth, the evolution, I like to call it, of an organization. I think for us, like for Foreground, or even when I'm talking to our business partners or any directors, I think the big one for me is like, all right, how do we create jobs? That's always been my purpose. Because I've always thought about, we talk about legacy or succession planning. What does that look like? And it's about empowering. So obviously, I give up a lot of my time that's not paid, that's not funded within the organizations that I'm in to grow and help other people so they can create livelihoods. I think creating opportunities and for creating livelihoods or opportunities or jobs, it starts off free, but it's not free. It's investment. It's a learning phase. We always talk about learning forward or falling forward or failing forward. I think every opportunity that comes across our path, or anyone that wants a job, you can send me anyone, I'll create a role. Like we were at Bremen State High School yesterday, and there were kids there like really, they're wanting to get into sports management or sports administration or become an S&C or sports scientist. We do that really well. In my head, I'm like, I've gone away from that. I'm like, I think I can create a role for them, all 5 of them. If I have to. I was like, that pushes me. That's what inspires me when people are hungry, when they're motivated. That's what, when you find a kid that's, because like our kids got so much pressure on them these days. You've got social media, all these different influences and external influences that I don't think we take into consideration as adults, or as like we always look at we're the generation that made it. No one's ever made it. But I think that's what drives me is that when you actually see that passion, we've got to hone in on it. But it might lead on to other things. Like I started as a little, doing labouring as a young guy. Now I'm doing podcasts. A lot of things resonate. I think, it's the long game. I think, one thing I was listening, I was like, man, it's the long game. And if you're real passionate about it, you'll stay in there forever. You never work a day in your life. So the long answer is definitely a lot of things. I resonate with a lot of things that Pete's saying. And for me, I'm just again, when I'm learning and I'm just listening. I promise, then I was like this. I was like, damn, that's actually a lot. And I'm having conversations in my own head. I'm like, it's reassurance. It's always like I always say on this podcast, it's always refreshing that we have someone of your caliber come on this podcast to share that, it's the same messaging. And it's hard. Sometimes we do get stuck in this, especially me coming out of when I say which departments and agencies and organizations, but sometimes you get real tunnel vision. You forget about everything else. Life is bigger than myself, right? I'm just a part of the wheel, the ecosystem that goes.
I find creating for others is sacrifice always. Whether I'm creating for my wife or my kids or volunteers or staff members, right? There's always some level of sacrifice. And those who are willing to give the sacrifice will stay there to create for others. Those who want to create for themselves, they're not sacrificing much. They just roll through it and go, I'll just do it's easy for me, right? So I'm always surprised about the sacrifice it takes. Always grateful for the sacrifice others make to say no to something, to say yes to looking after people. Which is huge.
Do you... What's something that you reflect on that keeps you grounded in the work that you do in mobilizing volunteers and leaders around Australia? And I'm just speaking from a dad perspective, as a husband perspective, we say sacrifice, but there's our family as well. I'm always interested in the tension of the work we do, but then also our homes, because I think more and more our generation, the millennial generation, even younger generations are looking at us the way that we do it and going, I don't know if I want to do it. We go work all out, burn ourselves out, and then our family gets the crumbs. So I guess it's a long-winded way of saying, is there a balance of the tension of the two things, or you're passionate about mobilizing, but at the same time, the people at home is who you really want to mobilize and inspire and encourage in that space?
I'm the first to say I'm definitely not perfect in that space. I think
don't show my face.
Don't choose me.
That blur effect. Carlin, can you blur us out?
Don't let's move on. Let's go.
I was like, Carlin.
And I'm definitely far from perfect in that space. And I think what you said, Pete, it's like falling forward, right? It's how do I learn from that? So next time it's better. How do I continue to grow from that? So next time that's better. There's a guy called John Maxwell. He's written a couple of books. A few people have heard about him.
Quoted him. Yes.
And one of the ones he loves always talking about, if someone can do something that's 80% as good as you, then hand it on, delegate it. Because eventually they'll end up doing it better than you. And so for me, it's always trying to improve that side, so then it gives me more margin on the other side, another space. And so if I find I'm getting busier and overloaded with stuff on one spectrum, it's all right, how do I make up for it on the other? And maybe it could be extra hours here, days here, or getting up early, going to bed later to sort of make up for that lost time. And lost time always isn't lost. You can always sometimes gain it up. But you got to be intentional about it. Without intentionality, then you just sort of end up drifting away down the ocean per se.
Where have you seen where you've had to let go, and then in hindsight, there's margin? Because I heard that, I'm like, dang, that's a bar.
I was like, damn, I need to do that more.
I was like, where have you seen it done well, and where haven't you seen it done well? Because I think our listeners and people who are speaking into corporate space as well as community and whatnot, but they're going, you're telling me to let go, Pete. To gain more, I have to let go. How does that concept work for you?
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day, talking with someone, and it was sort of looking at it as finding the right no's and being okay with that. I think it's something I'm always trying to challenge myself is if I say no to something, is it really the end of the world? And sometimes you almost have that superhero syndrome of like, no, I've got to say yes. I've got to save that. Got to save there. Got to save there. Got to be there. And so often, sometimes that no is such a refreshing of like, oh, because I said no, I'm saying yes to that. Because I said no here, I'm now available to do that.
Yeah.
One thing I'm learning, I've read in a book, is talking about ways to say no. And one of the great things was so often when we say no to things, we start off with the negative side. It's like, I can't do that. And then that's it. Or they start positively. Oh, I'd love to do that, but I'm too busy. And looking at that, trying to look now is like, all right, if I need to say no to something, but to say yes to something else, why don't I look at it and say, oh, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do this, but I would have loved to do it, and I can do it next time. And then on that, it helps me rephrase of what I'm going to look to in my other, and creating that margin to actually be able to do the things I want to do or I feel like I need to do that's more important.
I think having the language, I think that it's important, like coming up with new ways, exciting ways. I even now challenge myself, like I don't know if you guys do it. This is something maybe you guys can tell me if I'm totally left field or whatever. But
you're left field.
All right. But how you say, I never say sorry. If you realize I never say sorry in an email, because it means that, and if I do say sorry, it is actually I'm very apologetic. So like I try to say, I limit, like don't say I do say sorry to my wife. No, but that's how I get my brownie points. But no, like what are other ways that you guys say, how's your day, and how you respond? Like if you ask me a question, like, so ask me how my day is.
How was your day, Peter?
I can tell you this right now. It was better than yours. No, but coming away, but you laugh, right? And then you start interaction and conversation. We're so prone to, I'm not prone, but taught, or I don't know. Conditioned, that's the word. To go ticky. So just to go, hey, I'm good. How many times have you guys come across people like that? So everyone's always, whenever you ask me, it's like, how's your day? And like, you wouldn't believe it. Like, so I've changed the way I actually respond to people because I actually do care. I was like, you know what, I'm actually going to give my time. He's actually asked me how my day is. I'm not just going to go, it's all good. And sometimes we're so conditioned to do that. Even with sorries, like I don't say sorry because, or like say, when I say I don't say sorry, I do say sorry. Like if I really mean it, don't just say sorry because it's something that my wife's taught me. And you hear it a lot, and it's actually worked. So when I see emails and I'm late to respond, I go, obviously, I have a really busy schedule. Hey, how's it going? It's been a hectic week. Where are we at? What do you need from me? This and that. And it's all good. And I'm now a lot more transparent from letting people know. I was like, hey, by the way, just give me a subtle reminder. I am human. I'm not superhuman. And then, kind of like that let go or coming up with the new ways of saying no. I was like, man, I need to do it more.
You know what's funny, though? When you go to, like, how you going? And you answer with how you going without answering the question. And we're in such a fast-paced world. It's like instead of actually listening, going, how you going, you actually answer it. Oh, I'm actually going well. Listen, and then how are you going? And so we're such a fast pace. So like you answer a question with a question, and you don't even actually get to that place of asking how they're actually going.
And then you're going back as like, okay, this guy's picked up on my game.
It's so funny, Like I was just thinking as you mentioned, it's I don't even know. Maybe I'm making something up, but it's self. How do you? What is your both of you your check-in? What are your check-in practices? So if you're leading a team, which you both do, I do as well. But what are some check-in practices that you want to ensure that your team or the people under you are doing well? And is there a series of questions? Is it a question with a question? Is it like what else have you seen done in your worlds that go, I want to make sure that I'm intentional about checking in with my team? Do you have check-in practices? Is that something I made up? I'm going to write my own thesis on check-in practices.
When you said it, it's like chicken practices, but no, sorry, no. Check-in practices, I'll give you an example. Someone says, it's something I've said a lot recently, and I laugh every time because it gets a reaction. So people say to me, hey, Ray, how are you? I was like, mate, I'm good. And
they say, mate, it's so good to see you. Then I say to them, it's good to be seen by you.
Yeah.
And they're just like, that is so awesome. Because it speaks into the value. And again, I read it somewhere in a book or podcast somewhere. It's like, it's actually nice to affirm someone.
Yeah.
And actually, I see you, I value you, and I'm responding, hey, it's good to be seen by you. And that's kind of like a spanner in the works sort of a question, like a self-check-in. Like, I don't know if you guys have done anything similar to that, but I think it's important, that value of it's actually good to be seen by people, like to acknowledge, not saying I feel great and I feel inflated and then my ego is like, no, it's actually nice to be seen.
Yeah.
I think we've spoken about it before, like I guess that when I check in with like any of our guys, mentors, girls as well, our coaches, educators, I always lead with how you going. Like, you know, I think we're so good getting tasks done, so I think like it's context before content. So I will never ever lead with, hey, I need you to do this or do that. Like, hey, how you going? What's happening? How's the family? You know, that's the like real big check-in, and then you can kind of tell by the voice. So I always like look for cues and that when I have those check-ins. It's like, all right, something's not right, or I just go, just tell me the truth. Like, you know, like
we don't have time.
Yeah, we don't have time. It's like I need you to tell me, like, what's up? You know, like having some tough conversations, easy now. Back then, hard. So I think the more that I've been able to check in with our staff. So obviously we have like our check-ins and our weekly check-ins and that, and the guys have theirs, but I actually now have the luxury of calling them up randomly. It's like, hey, how's everything going? Just doing a review.
Yeah.
Like I was doing some cutting, like, so I'll use the example. I was snipping like some grass at one of the properties, and it's like working. I was like, hey, how you going? And then I go, yeah, going good, bro. Meanwhile, he doesn't know I'm his boss. He's like, who's this maintenance guy? Like I think, and then I give him a call. It's like, hey, how's it going? I saw you at the property. What do you mean? I was like, oh, I was the guy cutting there. Like, why didn't you come say hi? I was like, you were busy with a client, like
undercover boss.
Yeah. No, I think it's like, when Pete's talking, it's around that servant leadership we always talk about. I think it's massive on that when you're role modeling it. You're not just being about it, you're acting about it, Oh, that's a bar, just try to meet up. You're supposed to say bar. No,
bar.
But, like it's really trying to change, I don't know. This is going to be real weird. I actually got told that kids are really, you know what, that's going to be next. But what do you guys do for self-check-ins?
So true. I find being proactive is a long way to go, and like actually trying to see where things may not be great or see where things may be coming up that may affect someone's well-being. And so being proactive and knowing, hey, actually they're going through a real busy time. It'd be a great opportunity to do a check-in on them or do just a catch-up. I know that they're going through something at the moment. All right, let's schedule in some check-in times proactively. I love what you said about actually saying, hey, how are you going before the task? Because so often when you get task-driven, right, you're straight into it like you're talking to ChatGPT. And you're like, hold on.
Never used it.
Yeah. In there, you're not going, hi, ChatGPT, how are you going? Can you do this for me? It's like, do this for me. When you're talking to a human, right, it's like, how are you going? Humanizes it, right? Yeah. It humanizes them as a person, not just a number or a computer that's going to run a task for you or just a slave basically going, what do you want me to do? And so I think it humanizes the fact that, hey, you're a human, so I'm accepting you and I'm saying hello to you, how are you going? Can you help me with this?
I do very similar things at home. Like I just cringe because sometimes I get home and I just ask my kids to do something. Girls, I need you to go do this and that. And then they do it and I'm like, stop. Hello, girls. Hi, Dad. I'm like, sorry. They're like, oh, it's okay. But deep down inside, I'm like, no, it's not okay. Like, I need to address them and talk to them as human, like, welcome them into their own home. It's tough because it's like, I need things to be done. You should know, but like that rhetoric goes in my head all the time. And then in reverse, I get frustrated at that because I'm not addressing them and welcoming them. But it's the same thing when in the mornings, when I'm up early, I'm doing work emails, punching up before they all get up and ready for school, and they just come by and just walk past me. I'm like, oh, excuse me. They're like, oh, what is it? I'm like, good morning. Oh, sorry, Dad. Good morning.
Yeah.
There's something about that human factor, just trying to make him feel like they're seen, they're heard, they're valued.
Em is massive on my wife. Like, she's really good at that. She'll like, I'm good, thank you. Like, so like she'll like, hey, blah, blah, and then she'll like stop. She'll come around, give me a kiss. How's your day? And I was like, oh, it's good, thanks. Yeah, it's really nice when you humanize it. Guys, if you read this, it's really nice to humanize. Yeah, no, but really it is. Like, my kids now, like, I've gone past that, and I'm really trying hard to set some boundaries. And it's hard. It's hard, especially to be a human, not task-driven. Yeah, it's so easy to be task-driven when you're like a taskmaster. So, yeah. How
do you hold that tension, Pete, like with task and trying to have the human element of working with volunteers or people on a national level? And even like, I'm keen to hear about how it works in your sports chaplaincy space as well. Like
the earlier days as well, like, goes from give us your journey of like what you were like back then to now how you are now as an operator.
Yeah. For me, I was always, from an early age, loved just getting around and doing things, helping out, fixing things, working with things. I remember watching my granddad in the shed tinkering around the car and then doing it myself and flowing through. As you grow up and as you finish school, life after school, those next steps, you start thinking, hey, what am I going to be? What am I going to do? And I remember thinking, like, I'm just going to go into business. I love business. Let's go do that. And I remember doing it. I'm like, why am I doing this? And I just landed on me that I actually love adding value to people. So anywhere I can add value to someone's life is what gets me up in the morning. So whether it be adding value, helping out mow a lawn, adding value, helping out with a task, adding value with some advice. I found I loved doing that. So I actually became a terrible business person because I'd have a client come to me and go, oh, can you do this for me? Oh, yeah, that sounds great. Would you like a discount? Why don't I just do that for you? Because I'm loving adding value to you. And so I found like I wasn't a great business person, but what made me great was actually working with people. And so while my passion was adding value, it sort of was a perfect slipstream into the Red Frogs through that, because it's such a service-based thing. And it started out with sports chaplaincy, and I was a graphic design for Red Frogs doing that. But my first avenue into Red Frogs in terms of volunteering was sports chaplaincy. And that actually started with the Brisbane Bullets when they came back to town. And they literally started from scratch, didn't have basketballs, so they had to go to the store, Rebel Sport, and pump out basketballs and put them on the racks. Yeah. And it started from just getting rebounds for some of the guys, kicking back rebounds and stuff like that. Added value because they didn't have all the support staff around to help. And so I just sort of clicked, like, anytime I can add value to someone's life, I feel good about myself. I feel like that's part of who I am, a part of what I can offer in my gifts and talents. There's plenty of business people who can go and make money to help support Red Frogs, which then helps support me outwork my part. And so many different parts of the body add up to the perfect human, and I'm only one part. Nice. And so flowing on that, I'd much rather other people carry their load and I'll carry my load. And so for me, it's like, how can you add value to someone became my calling card. It's like, what can I do? And it's such an easy thing to do. You could be as little as like holding a door open for someone, or as little as like giving a smile. Like just a smile to someone, like you don't know what they've gone through, 100%. And so,
wink, wink.
Have a little wink there and a little sparkle.
It's kind of creepy now.
And so adding value was like just almost what I felt as a calling card. And then as I started getting invited or opportunities to go into spaces, it's like, well, I'm not really a coach, I'm not really a S&C, or I'm not a doctor or anything, but what is my assignment? And so it's like, all right, just let's add value. And so every space I've gone into, it's looked different. Some may be more high performance in terms of what I can offer but some may be as simple as filling up some water bottles. And so me knowing my assignment allowed me to find those best places to add value. And when you're adding value to somewhere, it's hard to get kicked out or moved on, because no one wants to move on from value adders. But if you're just carrying weight, or you're a weight they're dragging, then you become almost a waste of space or a useless. And so I always decide, if I can add value somewhere, or if I can add value, I'm gonna be there and do what I can do.
That's
Well, I was kind of like, how long have you been with the Red Frogs? Sorry, how long have you been with the Red Frogs? Sorry if anyone got
that. Since probably 2002. So started there as a volunteer and just doing all the graphic design and T-shirt designs and sort of just flowing that side of things. And then as it sort of branched on and running into other things, I actually came on staff in 2018 to help look after our sports programs. And then from there, I've sort of drifted into full-time there, full-time work and then full-time volunteer. Oh. And so one of the things we carry is like, if you expect someone else to volunteer outside of their business hours, we can do the same. And that's the least we can do. And so, so go back into 2002. So if you're doing your maths at home, I am getting pretty old.
Look good. Whatever age you are.
Yeah, I didn't start volunteering in primary school.
I was like, he must be like 20-something.
Yeah. So it's been a while.
There's a Samoan proverb that says, "Ole ala I le pule ole tautua," meaning the pathway to leadership is through service. I don't think the goal in service is to be a leader, but in serving others and by adding value, you evidently, or just by default, you become a leader. Is that something that you noticed as you were serving, that people were relying more on you because of that value added component and they gave you more responsibility? Or were you like, oh, thanks? Were you reluctant to take on leadership positions because of the value adding you had in you?
I don't think I've ever taken on a leadership decision or position. It's just become. I feel that when you're available, things will flow. Ooh. So by just being available, it's allowed me to walk into the places I've walked. It's allowed me to lead the people I've led. It was never a position on a CV or a job description. Yeah. I just said, hey, I can do that. I just put my hand up and say, yeah, I'm available for that. And so I've just been used in opportunities because I was available, not because I was the most gifted communicator, most gifted writer, gifted rebounder, gifted designer. It was purely just being available. And in our busy worlds we live in these days, a lot of times those who are available will be used. And so talking on the margin, if I become available, therefore I can walk into opportunities that are presented for me. If I'm too busy, I could have an amazing opportunity come, but I can't fit it in. And so just being available has allowed me to be used in different leadership positions within the organisation, with sporting clubs I've been a part of. And so I found that's what's been the goal to that, just being available and just saying, hey, yeah, I can help with that, no matter what it looks like.
How do you know the difference, or how do you navigate the difference of being available and being, I don't even want to say the word, like abused in your availability? Like, oh, he's here, he'll do it. We'll give it to him all the time, or give it to her all the time. Like, is there a process that you go through in your mind? You're like, hey,
creating that accountability for others to know, make sure that they
rather than
understand their role.
Palming it off to you. But how do you? Is there a process that you go through, or like what? How do you know the difference between I'm genuinely available to like, wait a minute, this is your job?
Yeah, that's so true. I think when you are someone that's regularly available, you become an easy. I will say
target.
Yes. let's just. Oh, Pete will do it. Yeah. Pete will do it. And I think going back to knowing your role, your lane, I think that helps with that, because then that gives you a position to make decisions of what's going to be most important to move that goal. Awesome. So in my personal life, I get to make that call, but through organisations, Red Frogs, I got to make that decision based on the best values of the organisation, because it's not my organisation, it's Red Frogs' organisation. Gotcha. And so I get to make those decisions based on that, whether I say yes to that availability or I say no. But at least I get to have that opportunity to make that decision. And a lot of times if you don't get to that spot to make a decision, you don't know what you've missed out on. Yeah.
What's that quote you love to share about missed opportunities or something like that?
The only missed opportunity is the one you don't take.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously it's like, it's hard. It's like we actually have some conversations at the moment with some coaches and stuff at the moment, and about opportunities. And I'm like, hey, it's an opportunity. It might be your last. Like, you never know. This might be the opportunity to boost your launch pad, like, your career. But I understand. It's all right.
Yeah.
I think it's all having that kind of, that there's two sides to that quote. And I think the good one is like when you talk about positivity and that, but then sometimes you have to understand the human. When we have to humanize that quote is, wait a minute. Some people like get overwhelmed, like, oh, cry. Because sometimes, like, in context, is like some opportunities that have come up from Foreground to some of our facilitators, presenters, educators. It's life changing. It really is. It's a big step. Some people like they want it, but they don't know if they want it. I don't know if I'm talking in code, but it but that's a massive quote around the whole opportunity. It's a tough one.
I get it, because it's like another way of I'm thinking of it now, and like, how do you know you're deserving of the opportunity? Like, because I hear it every now and again. I'm not worthy for that opportunity, but yet you as a leader or facilitator, like, you see the opportunity for that person. Like, what do you do in that space when you know the opportunity that can be there for a person in your team?
Yeah, I think that comes...
Yeah. Open your eyes.
I think that's the imposter syndrome, right? It's like, am I worthy to do this? Am I equipped? Am I skilled enough? And I generally look at it as like, well, if I've been appointed by someone to do this, then I've been equipped to do it. So therefore, you've appointed me as a GM, you've appointed me as a boss, therefore you trust me that I can do what I can do and back it off that confidence. Sometimes you just have that confidence from learned knowledge, experience, and it's like, this is easy, got this. So I love doing school talks, talking to year 12 students and speaking hope into them. Yeah. I've done it for many years, and so straight away you feel, this is easy, I've got this, I've done this a million times, let's go do it. And then sometimes you go on a new opportunity and it's like, I haven't done this before. Am I good enough? But if you've been appointed, you've been equipped. And so you can roll out with that. And then...
nice. He's like, what?
I can leave today. I've got the clap.
Later.
For cutting us left.
I've passed.
Yeah. You got the cultured clap. That's good.
I love that. I love that opportunity. Like, if you've been appointed, someone's seen that potential, that means you're equipped, meaning you're not going to be left alone.
No.
Yeah. If I was very privileged and blessed, I would say, to be able to go with Pete. I think it was the one time I went with Pete into one of the Logan schools. And this is where I was just sort of like beginning to explore work outside of faith community and just wanted to be in community. I love schools. I love Red Frogs. And so to be able to see this guy speak in high school, like at the school, like, damn, like this is easy. Like, and I was genuinely inspired. And then we had a young guy with us as well who did he's the frog thing and whatever. But I could tell that because he was still young, like the students are like, oh yeah. But when you spoke, like they were just hooked. And I just knew it came from a genuine place. Like, what can you tell us about as you're speaking and engaging with young people? So this is year 12s. You got schools all over Australia that you got facilitators going into classrooms and telling them about schoolies and trying to inspire them for anything. Like, what do you know about being genuine in your leadership and the way that you communicate with people?
Yeah, I'll throw an acronym at you as well.
Please.
I love this. The AAA, so the All Access Pass.
So what is it?
The All Access Pass.
All Access Pass.
But that's not what it stands for.
Yeah.
But to get that, you need the AAAs, which is normally it's all access areas. But for me, it's like we go on as a guest. And everywhere I go, I'm going as a guest to a school, a university, a sporting club.
Ew.
And so being a guest, there's a few house rules normally to get into those spaces. And what I normally put down to is being authentic, being available in your assignment. And so we've touched base on some of those already. But for me, being authentic, if I'm not myself, then people see straight through it. If you're not yourself, it becomes, you almost look like an imposter, right? I'm not trying to represent another culture. I'm not trying to represent another comedic effect. I'm not trying to tell someone else's jokes. Like, they always land terrible when you try and tell someone else's jokes.
Dry.
Dry.
You got the whole punchlines wrong, mixed up, entangled. Like, you be who you are and be authentic.
Yeah.
And I think that I learned that the hard way. Like, you go into a school talk, year 10, 11 students, and you try and be them, chuck out some some slang or sayings that they're talking about. Straight away, they look at you with those eyes. It's just another one of these people.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like...
I was just I was like, oh, cringe. I was like, oh. I was like, I have done that.
Been there.
Been there. Oy.
And so you learn pretty quick that like you just be who you are and be authentic, and it goes a long way. And as I talked about being a guest in those environments, like it's a privilege to go into someone else's domain, whether it be a high school, university, festivals, concerts, sporting teams.
Yeah, right.
And to me, I was like, what does a guest look like? Well, when you're a guest at a house, you're not going in, opening the fridge. Can you fix me a coffee? Can you grab me this? What do you do? Sometimes you bring a gift, right? You bring a gift. So what do you have to offer when you come into that space? So at a school, I'm offering my education services. I'm offering our talks. It could be something practical, offering red frogs, offering the lollies. Yes. Then you go in and you go, what can I help you with? So you're asking what the assignment, how can we help you when you're a guest? You're taking your shoes off, you're not making a mess. And so, your assignment, like I'm not going in there as a year 12 coordinator or teacher or a maths teacher. I'm going in there just to do my role. And so by looking as a guest, I think it gives me a different perspective of, I hold it with a bit more reverence of it's more of a privilege than rather it's my right. It's a privilege I get to do this. And so being authentic is a long way of making sure I don't look like I'm out of place. I'm not a thorn in a rose patch. I'm more the rose in the patch. And so I think being authentic and treating it as being a guest always. It's not my right to be there, but I've been invited in to be a guest.
Yeah, I love that. So it's authenticity, availability and assignment. Dang.
Boom, boom, boom. No, just
AAA.
Batteries to charge your life up. No,
Did that acronym come from your experiences, or was that something that was handed down to you, or something that was in a curriculum that someone said, hey, this is what we just do? Or
this day and age, you don't know where you get stuff from, right?
There's
just
stuff
remember,
everywhere.
Right? Just in the shower, and that's it.
I always do these ones. Yeah. It's by an anonymous author. Or influencer.
I always look at it like, how do I take my personal experience and then just grab what blends and what works? And I was just I was doing some training with some people. And I'm like, if I was to send someone into a location as a guest, a sporting club or anywhere where it's a different vibe, different feel, it's not your role, you're not a job, you're a volunteer. Yeah. What would you do? And it always comes down to, be yourself, be authentic, be available. Because if you go in there, you go, can you do this? And you go, no, sorry, I'm busy. They'll go ask the next person. And then know your assignment. Like I don't go in as a head coach or a SNC or a general manager or a scout. I go in for a certain role. Yeah. And if I know that role, I can dominate it. Yeah. If I try to be someone else, then I'm useless. And I'm also getting in the way. It's like, hey, Pete, stop doing that. You're in the way. Get out of it. You're not helping.
I resonate heaps with that. Like that's probably one thing I've taken the past 18 months, like just for my own development, is stay in your lane. Yeah. Not in a bad way. And if you get asked to go into someone else's lane, just make sure that your lane is good, like your scope is good. Like, it's like, oh yes, I can do that, but hey, just let you know it is out of my scope. And just being real with that, it's like, that's not my scope, that's not my lane. Yeah. But if you're invited, if you've been invited to actually, and I've been invited to many lanes, hence why there's been like substate, like, there's exponential growth for our company or for me as a professional, because I've been really good at what I do. No saying I'm good at people, good at connection, good at culture, good at community. And it's understanding that people come in with that. Like, you be good at your scope. And even if people come into my scope, I don't tell them like, hey, just get out of my scope. I was like, I hope you're good at this. I was like, I'm here to help you. But I've been really like, just know your role. Know your role. And it gets rid of like all the politics in places. Like, and I found that even us, like that's what we control really well within. And I don't know if it's control, but that's what we really lay down the foundations of Foreground when we bring on people. So, hey, this is your role. Just be good at that. Yeah. We have someone else doing this, and this. Yeah. We've been able to diversify our business across the, that broad differentiation or like that strategy we have. And like, hey, you do this. So Ray, you're going to be doing leadership, culture, education. That's you. You have my full support though. Yeah. And then like, Jerry, you're high performance. Boom. You have my full support, even though you're the boss. Yeah. And then Pete, you can just be the support guy.
Yeah. You stand over there.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, man.
I think like you create the bowling lane, right? And now you've got these bumpers there. So the lane is, hey, you can knock down those 10 pins anyway, but you're not going to go 10 metres that way, 10 metres that way. The foundation's there, the boundary's there for you to win. You knock down those pins however you want.
Man, like the bowling has like, guys, life is like a bowling lane.
Life is like a bowling
I'm here
lane.
to set up the bumpers, but no, seriously, like
I'm not a bowler though. I think my high score is like 198 or something.
That's higher than mine. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what's mine. It's like my golf handicap. Don't ask me. But no, it's like it's really true. You stay in your lane, and like, yeah. Because you start doing that, then people expect. That's when I guess that whole like when people start asking you to do more than what you're actually supposed to do and take advantage of you is when you start going into someone else's lane. They can see that and oh yeah, this guy. I don't know. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
We'll throw it back to you guys.
How did you get in? When did you know? I guess maybe you want to answer this afterwards. But when did you know that you were good at what you're doing now? Like. When did you know you're like, I'm good at this lane? I'm good. Was there a moment? Is it a gradual thing that you become better and more interested in? Or was it like, no, I know what I want to do with my life? Like in episode 7, we talked about purpose and calling, about waking up every day going, I'm committed. I know what I'm going to do every single day. And we speak about it before, but was there a moment for you when I'm thinking about
moments,
lane moments where you're like, yeah, this is the lane. This is me.
Yeah. I think for me it was a pretty simple one. It was probably like it wasn't like a job interview or a call or anything like that. But when I finished school, so what I would have been 17. Finished school at 17, so 2002, going into 2003, and my mum was battling cancer, and we lost her that year, 2003. And I think up until then, like. Life's good when you're like in school. Like it's not hard. You just got to get up, go to school. You got your mates everywhere. You got no bills, no care in the world. Then you start thinking about stuff. And I remember losing my mum, and it's probably about 3 months after, just sort of like processing it and just sort of just sitting around at home and just feeling weight on my shoulder of like, oh, what does life look like now? Like I've got siblings, I've got my dad still here. So, but for them it's like, oh, all right, you know what? What do I do to honour my mum's legacy? And that's what sort of got me going of like, you know what, there's probably more to what there is to me. There's more that I need to do, what more do I need to achieve? And I think that was probably one of my biggest drivers initially, like how can I honour my mum? And so that was probably the real first driving point. And then through there, it was just natural feedback loops and passions and inspiring. So like the sports chaplaincy is like, I grew up playing sport all the time, like, come home, you go early morning sport, afternoon sport, missing school days for sport.
What's your chosen sport, by the way?
It was basketball.
Basketball
and footy, like growing up, but the seasons always clash, so I had to decide. Handball in the court though, like handball, mean little serve going on there. But so from there, just sort of feedback loops and just the passion, just driving. I'm like, you know what, actually, I'm going this way. I'm going this way in life. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really passionate about that. Got to work in youth and young adult programs for a long time, like just hanging around young people and just having a ball. Like young people keep you young. Like the more you hang around young people, the more you feel youthful. And so that kept me inspired and just constant feedback of going, you know what, you're actually doing really good. You suit this very well. Oh, I'm really passionate about it too. Like, well, let's just keep going. Let's keep rolling.
Cool.
And then before you know it, you're sort of just on that path, right? And so it's like a plane, you're like a degree off and you end up being hundreds of degrees
somewhere
off.
Else.
And so for me, it's like just slowly changing those degrees of where I'm driven, where I'm enjoying, where I'm passionate, where I feel called, sort of led me where I am today.
We often talk about turning point moments, Like we hear it, I think I hear it all the time when we're talking about people who made a decision that has set them up for life. Like, and that's a turning point moment. Like when you're talking about grief, you're talking about the loss of a mum, and the impact it has on your family. You're a young guy. Like that could have gone either way. Like that driving factor of your mum, not her passing, but that turning point moment. Do you distinctively remember going, yeah, I want to do this and this is where I'm going to go? Or were you thinking, oh, I don't know what I want to do, I could be stuffed, whatever? Or was it a this or that, or was it just that's where I'm going?
Yeah, I think it was this is what I want to do. This is where I want to head towards. This is what I want to achieve. Took me longer to get there than I expected. Like, it's not like 1 year later, here I am. Yes, done.
I love
it. It's
10 years later.
Yeah, and little things over time out of something big. It was definitely that. So I feel like I'm still only scratching the surface now of what I can achieve. Like, and like, I don't want to get to a place where I stop fighting. Like, you want to keep driving, keep getting better. Like, I feel like I'll start shrinking if I stop doing what I'm doing. Like, reading more books, asking more questions to people. Like, I've always loved the quote, like, if you're the smartest person in the room, your room's too small for you, get out. Like, get in those rooms where people are going to encourage you and grow you and freak you out. Like, people with big visions, like, they inspire you, and then when you try and take on that vision, you're like, well, this could squash me. Like, this is huge. Like, how do I do that? It's like
me.
Let's go. How do you outwork that, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I love seeing that stuff and you build upon it. But that's where you need those people who can support you in those roles. Yeah. Like, hey, big vision. All right, now let's get the scaffolding to outwork this. Yeah. Let's bring the people in to help outwork this.
Yeah, it is so true.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this guy does for me. Like, it isn't until most recently that I'm realizing how big the vision is. Like, we talk about it, but it isn't until he throws me into the deep end of things. I'm like, damn, this is, have I bit off too much? But that's because he empowered. Like, and again, I back myself. Like, I've always backed myself and try to do, like, whether it be speaking in front of a group of construction people. I have no business in construction. But what I do say is, but I know people.
Yeah.
I know people, and I know how humans behave and what they need, like where it be valued, seen, and whatnot. And I said I can speak to that because I understand. And then I just sort of mix it in with a bit of construction jargon, and it's not a gimmick. It's like I genuinely have a deep, passionate interest in empowering people.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that this guy sees. Like, he sees me, he goes, "Do it." I'm like, ooh, I don't want to stuff this up for you.
I don't say it like that. I say, I hope everyone just that's joking.
Yeah, but I think it's important, like, to recognize that when the occasion's up, it's not because I want to see Ray sweat and see what he does. It's like, hey, I actually been appointed to this thing, and I kind of feel privileged that you've given me that opportunity.
Yeah, because I don't know. That's what happened to me. I was put into rooms where I was like challenged, and I was like very grateful. Like, in hindsight, like, you know, I've like done a lot of passion projects, and that's kind of turned into business naturally. Foreground was just a passion project.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, crud, don't work a movement. Oh, all right, we better start doing this. And then my lifestyle, then Mana Performance, like these other organizations that are non-for-profit. Like, for me, it's just like real cool. It's been, and no one hearing it, it's been organic growth for us. And I think that's the most powerful thing. When it's organic, when it's genuine, the intention is genuine, and you're deliberate about your purpose, it's easy. Like, I don't think I've ever been more happy with, or more, not honestly satisfied. I'm content, but I'm pushing for more. And I love the saying you said about scratching the surface. I live by that. No matter how much success I have, I'm just scratching the surface. And you'll know that, like, and not so much I've got things in place where I actually appreciate where we've gone. I was like, all right, like, you know, I go to Fiji next week for work. How cool is that? You know, like, and I don't say that as a flex. It's just that I get to take my whole family with me, because my son, my three boys, my wife and I, and it's something that's really, and I'm really proud of that. And I want to say it out loud. It's like, it's not a flex. It's like, I get to do it for work and go change other people's lives overseas. Whilst at work, I'm going to be doing stuff in the villages. I'm going to be doing stuff, finding out what's needed in the communities over there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's a real big humility piece for myself. And I'm just real grateful that I get to do that. And I want you to have that feeling as well.
Yeah.
You know, as you coming on as Foreground. Heck, I want Pete to feel the same as well. You know, when you're in our presence or something, you feel empowered. I think, you know, people are like, yeah, I don't know if it's, it's good to hear that. And yeah, we're just scratching the surface and you're just getting started. There's a lot of other rooms that you'll be in. Yeah. You'll be like, whoa. Yeah. It's not overwhelming. That overwhelmness is God talking to you, said, embrace it.
Yeah.
Go do it.
I send Pete. We send, you know, your Instagram. You constantly send each other stuff. Sometimes random stuff. Sometimes on point stuff. But there was two things that I sent him. One was from Simon Sinek. Again, big fan of his work and his books and whatnot. And it's around leadership. And I sent it to Pete, and it says, "This, Pete, the joy of leadership comes from seeing others achieve more than they thought they were capable of."
Yeah, that's good.
Like, that's deep. Like, I think that strikes a chord with what you were saying before. You know, like, it's awesome being in a position of privilege, but when you see someone else succeed, someone else thrive,
that's everything.
Like a proud parent.
Yeah. You want the people under you and around you to be bigger than you and go and climb on your shoulders. Yeah. Like, I've been on the shoulders of giants as well, and like, how can I level up again for those others as well? Yeah, he's written a few books as well, hasn't he, old Simon?
Yeah.
He's got some good stuff. I watched a lot of it. I was also like looking at like Cody Sanchez as well, like some of the stuff that she talks about.
Yeah.
Very it's very different. And I like a lot of like, I love having different opinions and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, back in the day, it used to be like, it's got to be original or don't say anything. But we're so privileged to just take in all this information and sort of pick and choose what this actually really suits what I need. This is actually adds to what I need. We had a businessman talk to us one time, and he said a quote that stuck with me. Like, you look at a car, and like when you're driving your car, your rear view mirror, the thing that looks behind is like only this big, but you look through your front windscreen, it's this big. So there's a reason why looking forward, it's got so much bigger angle to see than looking behind. It's just this one little mirror. And so constantly looking forward, there's a great big sparse, and then being small to look back. Even your successes, right? Successes are still great, but they're still in the past. Ooh. You look at what the Broncos won this year, right?
Yeah. I'll give it to the Broncos.
Round one,
it's
gone. It's forgotten. It becomes old news, right?
Yeah.
And so it starts again. So like, enjoy it, look behind, but now you got another whole year, a lot of success in front of you.
Yeah.
So have a crack and get after it. So
that's it. Yeah, man, have a crack.
Yeah.
People are scared to have a crack and fail and like be shamed. I was like, I'm like, you know what? That's my whole life. I will tell you one funny story. I was singing. It was an assignment with Mr. Myers. I don't know if you know Mr. Myers from BAC. Smash shout out. Anyways, our assignment was like, I don't know why I chose Pentecostal or AOG. I think AOG. Anyways, like, you had to like do a sermon, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll sit in. Anyways, obviously I like forgot which video I did, but it was like some Assembly of God, like full black, you know, like really cool. Like, I was like, all right, sweet, that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna be something. Anyways, did it, and I was and then one of the boys looked at me, and I cracked up, like, and then a snot came out of my mouth. And I was like, oh no, and everyone started laughing, and I'm like, and Mr. Ma was like, what a moment. It was like with all the boys, the boys behind all that.
They roasted you.
They roasted me. He was like, and I was like, you know what? At least I tried.
Yeah.
And that's a moment that always comes up. I'm like, you know what? I've had way more worse situations in life than, that actually made me grow up. And I was like, and I took a joke, and I was like, oh my gosh, what a way. But yeah, Snot and Amazing Grace. That's my memory in high school. That is.
That's your have a crack moment.
Yeah, have a crack moment. Have a crack. Don't, I was like, I'm going to stay in my lane.
Yeah. Well, Pete, what's, if you were given the opportunity, which you do, but if you were given the opportunity, picture yourself at which is the most iconic cricket stadium that you think is the most iconic stadium? Like, which one?
MCG Boxing Day.
Ooh. MCG, here's this. MCG Boxing Day. Some event person comes to you and says, hey, we got 2 minutes to fill a space. We don't know what to do. There's an awkward thing. We know that you do talks. The MCG is packed and you have 2 minutes.
Ooh, I like this one.
Like, what are you going to say in that moment that can, I don't want to say define you, but what is the one thing that you want to, or a few things, 2 minutes, what would you share with, how many does the MCG host?
80.
Nearly up to 100.
100,000 people. Yeah. Plus viewership on TV. They're like, it's going to go to air because we have you're it. They throw you the mic, you walk to the middle, and I'm painting the picture because I can see that you're walking to the middle of the pitch.
I'm actually now picturing it myself.
There's a stand, there's a little platform there, not on the actual cricket, but on the side.
I can actually see you on it right now.
Yeah,
I'm actually like this. Like, damn.
Because I'm just thinking of the of the AFL Grand Final recently, and all the cameras are there, and then it just zooms in on you, has your name there, and they go 3, 2, 1, go. What are you gonna say?
What's this here?
I've never been vulnerable again. I'm walking up. Whoa!
You got you good, man. You got you good. After you do that,
I've done that.
I've done that now. That was your intro. That's the 1st minute.
Wiped my nose.
You wipe your nose.
I'm
That's
clean.
the 1st minute gone. You got 60 seconds.
Oh gosh!
I've paid my royalties for Pete for using
Yeah,
it.
done. So hey, thank you.
All right, this is the moment. He's done that. Snot's gone.
I can't look.
He's just finished humming, and now it's got okay. Pete, you got 60 seconds.
60 seconds. All right, I'll walk out. Reality is, life is messy. No matter how much money you got in the bank, how little family situation, life is messy, and it affects everyone. Whether you're an elite athlete or an average person, generally the only difference is the audience watching you. But you know what? There's tomorrow, and tomorrow is past today. And tomorrow is a new day, that what happens yesterday is no more. And so understand it, like there's mistakes, there's mess, there's thing, but there is always hope. And on the other side of mess is that hope that can start your freshness. It can start a new day. It can bring you out of where you've been. And if you've been to the greatest heights already, it can sustain you there. Character never defines you. I mean, intentionality or character, talent won't define you. Talent will get you places, but character will keep you there. And so be easy on yourself. Like today, everyone's too hard on themselves. Like it's okay to make mistakes, and move on. Ed Cole says maturity is acceptance of responsibility. And so it's like saying sorry. And so, hey, don't be too hard on yourself. Like forgive yourself. There is hope. I went longer than 60 seconds, so the mic starts disappearing.
Yeah.
Go
straight to ad break.
Ready? Talk for me. Ready?
And then and
cut.
Yeah. Ready. So how many fans? No, how many people? One. Stay in school, yo.
Oi, what a mad way to wrap up. I'm getting chills. I'm just like, that is so cool.
I was like,
camera pans out. Not a dry eye in the stadium.
Life is messy.
Well, bro, thank you again. I appreciate it. That's going to stick with us forever now. But thank you again. Thank you again.
That's why you got
life is messy. Life is messy.
What a privilege.
What we do need to do is take all these quotes and just random
just go boom.
Hey.
Boom, boom.
What's this one? Life is messy. What episode is that from?
Episode 8.
They're gonna be like, is there a snot episode? Anyway, I digress. But Pete Godbold, thank you again. Appreciate you always. It's always a pleasure. It's always a blessing to have you in our presence. And again, I just want to affirm you as just a friend. When I see you succeed, I feel like I'm succeeding. That's the way that I work. That's the way that we work. And it's so cool to see people like you and kicking in community and just man, that's one of us, because you're changing lives. You're empowering people. You're adding value to people's lives. And not only that, the next generation of kids, I think schoolies, young people, we've all been there before, but it's you have a unique position where you not only speak to the kids in schools, but you're also empowering the leaders and the volunteers. So I really appreciate what you do in sport chaplaincy at Red Frogs, but also just as an awesome dad. So thanks for being on the podcast. Pete, final words before we close off.
Final words. It's been a pleasure. Absolutely, because there's not enough time in the day in this podcast to actually, really dive in. Yeah. We dived in deep. There's so much more to it. I guess again, your famous words or our famous words, just scratching the surface. And I really look forward to connecting in the future in community and even some, just in the near future. You just never know, like I love cricket.
Yeah. Oh, all of a sudden like it.
But no, like it's awesome. It's empowering. It's reassuring. It's always refreshing to hear someone of your stature, of your like position in this in the corporate space. And the Red Frogs. Red Frogs are massive.
Shout out to Red Frogs. If you are listening and you've heard about Red Frogs and you want to support, get behind them. They can go to websites. There's so many things that you can contribute financially and even contribute your time. Like they're always looking for volunteers. But again, I've been a part of a lot of Red Frog fundraising events, which we fundraise a ton of money just because we know it goes to directly to the cause. It doesn't just disappear into someone's bank account. It actually goes to the front line. And Peter, is there anything else that people should know about Red Frogs as a last plug before we finish off?
No, like we love safeguarding young people. Like we believe young people are the future leaders of the country. And if we can play a small part in protecting them and getting them there and as they mature, and we know people aren't defined by their choices, and they have a chance to change their life if they take one simple step in the right direction. So great privilege to do what we do, and excited for the year ahead.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us. This is episode 8. Please like, subscribe and share. I've always wanted to say that. I've never said it before. Like, subscribe and share to our page, Spotify, YouTube. That's us. Thank you very much.
Manaka. Mole. Yeah. We'll see you in Fiji.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, we will see.
We actually are going to do a podcast from Fiji.